Greetings, everyone. On behalf of W4W Foundation, a think tank instituted as a citizens collective, we welcome you to another session of Wednesdays for Water. The conversation today is a part of the Biodiversity Series. Wednesdays for Water is a water conversation series towards understanding better the nuances of water conservation and management. The objective is to engage with water experts, grassroots practitioners, policymakers, and youth to learn their thoughts and ideas about the complex intertwined issues associated with water and the possible solutions. We have expanded to have more activities like the Friday Waters and the Monday Munching with Women for Water, besides organizing water workshops, water walk and talks, seminars, special courses, and conference panels to continue the water conversation in various possible ways. Please visit our website www.w4w.in for more details. My name is Prashaka Maitra, and I'm a facilitator for the session from W4W. And we have Dr. Jayati Chourey to do the session moderation. Dr. Jayati Chourey is the Executive Director at SaciWATERs. She holds a PhD from IIFM Bhopal and FRI University, Dehradun. Water is a subject which remains close to her heart and the core of her professional and research life for more than 16 years. She has worked across the South Asia and African regions in management with environmental consultancies, international development organizations, rural community-based organizations, and academic and policy research institutions. I shall now hand over to Jayati to take the session forward. Over to you.
So thank you so much, Prashaka. And thank you, Mansi, for the introduction and for providing me this opportunity to design and host the Water and Biodiversity series. I truly appreciate your support and enthusiasm. And I'm very thrilled to share that today we mark our 1-year anniversary because we started this series last year in January. So please allow me to welcome all our committed nature lovers here today. To begin, I would like to offer a brief background on the series. So the goal of this biodiversity series is to bring ecological perspective to the forefront of mainstream water resources management discourses, which are often human-centric. Typically, discussion revolve around human uses such as water for drinking, sanitation, water for irrigation, power. Occasionally, we do talk about other species or groups such as fisheries, fish, but usually within the context of livelihood, food security, or enhancing ecosystem services, again for humans. And unfortunately, this homocentric approach has led us to one of the planet's biggest crises, the loss of biodiversity. Our planet, which is a home to millions of different creatures, and many of which remain undiscovered, which lie in places like deep oceans and dense jungles. So, as humans, we have this significant responsibility because we are causing harm to other creature and the places they inhabit. Currently, we are facing a substantial problem, the loss of numerous incredible species. According to the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, IPBES, around 1 million plants and animals are at risk of disappearing forever. The World Wildlife Fund reports 69% decline in wildlife population, with freshwater species like those in rivers and lakes decreasing by 83% in the last 50 years. So there is a need for urgent action to protect biodiversity. So in this context, we started this series and we organized a webinar series of online sessions on water and biodiversity to raise public awareness about aquatic biodiversity and their conservation status. The series aims to shift the spotlight from humans to other species with whom we share this planet, bringing ecological perspective to the forefront, which is absent from mainstream homocentric water discourses. So we launched this series in January 23 last year, and we started online session in February. We spoke about indigenous freshwater fish biodiversity in India. We also had discussion on marine vertebrates like sharks, rays, sea turtles, then mammals in aquatic habitat, coral reef ecosystems, mangrove, aquatic macrophytes, plankton, water snakes, and last month we had a very good discussion around seaweeds and seagrasses. So this month marks our 1 year milestone. So I'm very thrilled to share that unlike previous sessions featuring where we featured dedicated scientists and professionals, today we have two citizen scientists. Not professionals but passionate conservationists with knowledge comparable to a PhD in this field. They serve as role models, demonstrating that how public participation can play a crucial role in biodiversity conservation. This aligns with the core purpose of our Water and Biodiversity series, to connect every citizen to the cause of biodiversity protection before it's too late. So let me welcome each of you to today's session, which is on water birds, their ecological significance and conservation status. So, as we commence today's discussion, I would like to encourage all of you for your active participation, knowledge sharing, and questions during the open group discussion. It is through this synergy of thoughts and experience that we empower ourselves to drive meaningful change in our approach to water and biodiversity conservation and actions. So, let me now invite and welcome our first distinguished speaker, Mr. K. Mrutyumjaya Rao Garu, who is a retired subdivisional engineer from BSNL. So Mansi has shared his detailed uh, bio or introduction in the chat box. So I'll just share a few things about him. So he's a nature lover with who is interested in environmental and conservation issues. He is the Andhra Pradesh State Coordinator for IBCN, Indian Bird Conservation Network of BHNS. He is a life member of Deccan Birders Andhra Pradesh, and I'm very glad to share that he received AP State Biodiversity Conserver Awards in both 2012 and then recently in 2021. And in 2016, he was honored with the title of Best Environmentalist by Pitabi Kalapitam. He has authored many books on birds and also on water and biodiversity issues. So, a very warm welcome to you, Mrutyumjaya Rao Garu, and we look forward to an enriching session with you. Thank you so much. So, I'll share his PPT.
Mr. Ramana Kumar might, he may give first time.
Okay.
Ramana Kumar, because the time. Okay.
Okay, so then I'll introduce Ramana Garu. So Ramana Garu is a bird enthusiast and stands as an inspiring citizen scientist, providing that one's passion can transcend any professional background to make a significant impact on conservation. Uh, he has compiled a book in Telugu, which means Let's Watch Birds. It's designed for children, aiming to foster love for nature and wildlife from a young age. And in recognition of his outstanding contribution, Ramana Kumar Kandula Garu was honored with the Biodiversity Conserver Award from AP Biodiversity Board in 2021. And his commitment to bird conservation and his ability to inspire others make him a role model of change in the realm of citizen science and environmental advocacy. So a very warm welcome to you, Ramana Garu. I'll share your, so whenever you need, I'll share the like photos, or you want me to share it right now? So you need to unmute yourself. It's
Okay. Okay. Jayati, show the pictures later during the discussion.
okay, sure. Okay. So during the open group discussion? Okay, sure.
Can I start now?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello all. Today our session is about the ecological significance of water birds and conservation. Water birds are very significant, very important. They are indicator species. They indicate the health of a wetland. If there are birds, water birds in the wetland, it indicates that the wetland is healthy. And another thing is, they are like predators in a forest. How like tigers and leopards maintain balance in a forest, birds do the same in the wetlands. They eat insects, they eat aquatic vegetation, they eat fish, and that way they maintain the balance, the ecological balance of the wetland. That is the ecological significance of water birds. And unfortunately, many populations of many water bird species are on the decline. According to the recent State of India's Birds report, most water birds are declining, particularly the Indian skimmer, curlew sandpiper, Eurasian curlew, and the great knot are losing, populations are going down rapidly. There are many reasons for this. The most important thing for this decline is habitat loss. Particularly in the intertidal, the coastal area wetlands, we are losing very fastly. The reason is most of the area was converted into shrimp farming, and there are other demands also. From the developmental front also there is great demand. Particularly, agriculture is taking away wetlands. Pollution is another thing. There is enormous amount of pollution. Some wetlands today are just nothing less than garbage dumps, and you might have seen that. And conversion is another thing. Conversion is happening in many ways, and poaching is another thing. Tourism is the biggest threat recently. In many places, resorts are coming along the coast. These are occupying the wetlands. Some authorized, some unauthorized. Government is also giving permissions in the wetlands in some places for constructing resorts. Habitat loss is the major factor for the declining populations of wetland birds and also wetlands. I would like to give more details during the discussion, and I thank you all and request all participants to take up issues. Simply, what is happening is nobody is caring for it. Everybody talks about it. We are losing this, we are losing that, but nobody is taking the issue to the concerned departments. The forest department is there. If birds, if there is a Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, you can report poaching to the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. And so I request all of you to engage seriously and report matters to the concerned authorities and see that these problems are properly addressed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramana Garu, and we look forward to hearing from you more during the open group discussion. And he has got very interesting photos also to share with us, like how he has rescued birds from poachers, and he'll be able to share more during the discussion. So, may I now please invite Mrutyumjaya Garu? Can I now share your PPT?
Yeah, you can show the
Yeah.
PPT.
I'll do that. Are you able to see the?
Yeah, I am able to see it. Yeah. Okay. But today's session is about water birds, their ecological significance and conservation. So, water birds actually in India, bird species are 1,375, in which there are 302 water birds and migratory birds are 186. But there are 58. It's nearly 19% of water birds are under threat. That means we know how the wetlands and water bodies are under stress. Okay, next. So, in the water bodies and wetlands, there are generally two types. One is brackish water wetland and another one is inland wetlands. So, I want to tell regarding the Andhra Pradesh water bodies, important water bodies, and later I want to discuss the threats to them also. So, out of the water bodies in Andhra Pradesh, there are 1,493 wetlands in AP with a size of 56.25 hectares and above. So, here the important water bodies are Naupada swamps, Godavari estuary, Krishna estuary, Kulleru Lake, Pulicat Lake, and later Sompeta Bila and Kondakarla Ava. Kondakarla Ava, work done by Jayati, and she done very good work there. And later, there are several heroneries in the water bodies or in the village trees also. So in the water bodies, there are two important heroneries, that is Uppalpadu and Nalpattu heroneries. Okay, next. So these are the flock of, see how many, these are all the black-tailed godwits, they are migratory near Kumbhabhishekam mudflats. So Kumbhabhishekam mudflat is one of the important mudflat, and almost all the species of Koringa sanctuary will visit there. But unfortunately, the mudflat has been, almost the entire mudflat has been wiped out now. Only some small fragment portion is left is there. So these are the black-tailed godwits. Okay, next. These are also black-tailed godwits at that mudflat. See, there is a port. This mudflat is going to be, this was filled up for the expansion of the port. Next. So these are also thousands of waders. There, lesser sandflowers and different waders are there in the mudflat. So it is the most important mudflat. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by, for the development activities and other human activities. Next. So these are the Indian skimmers. These are the Indian skimmers. Godavari estuary at Kakinada, that is Kumbhabhishekam. Though this Godavari estuary that is one of the important habitat, wetland habitat with mangroves, mudflats, creeks and a lagoon, Surachirayanam lagoon, that way, and nearly 40,000 birds have been, every AWC counting is taken, but estimated that about 80,000 birds are there in that Godavari history area, wetland. So these are the Indian skimmers. Previously used to came at that Kumbhabhishekam mudflat, but unfortunately, as it is destroyed, they have been shifted in several places. Next. These are also great knot. These are great knot also used to visit at Kumbhabhishekam mudflat about 400 to 500, and skimmers about 250. Both Indian skimmer and this great knot are endangered species. And there are about 15 threatened species in Godavari history or Koringa sanctuary. Next. So this is the creek near to the Kumbhabhishekam mudflat. And this creek also very, very important. But here also there is severe disturbance and a number of birds are leaving this place. Next. These are the gulls. See how many gulls are there. Okay, next. These are the Indian skimmers. After destruction of Kumbhabhishekam mudflat, they used to visit this history. This creek. In very good number, about 230 to 240 numbers used to visit this place. Next. These are the great knot in that creek only. Great knot also, they have also disturbed from that place, and they shattered in several places in the sanctuary. Next. So these are the black-tailed godwits in the creek. Next. Okay. Later, at the creek, there is also severe disturbance, and due to the disturbance, the birds are shifted. Mainly, the skimmers were shifted to Yanam and Bhairapalam, Godavari River mouth. These are at the place of Indian skimmers and gulls near Yanam and Bhairapalam. Next. See, these are the Indian skimmers. Indian skimmer population is very less, and now they are treating as endangered species. And you kindly see that they have been tagged with some numbers. So these were tagged at the Mahanadi, Orissa. Then these birds are coming, these skimmers are coming here from the Mahanadi, Orissa. And the tags were done by the BNHS. And we found at Kakinada these birds by myself and other Srirama Reddy and Veeranjaneyulu, Dimmal Mahesh Babu and other bird watchers. We found them and we have taken photographs. Next. See, this is Uppalpadu. Regarding this, I will tell later how we have conserved this one. So this Uppalpadu is one of the important bird area of India. It is identified as an IBA site by BNHS. And it took several years to conserve the habitat. I am one of the main responsible person, and Ramana Kumar also at the beginning used to come along with me. And later I used to continue several years. And finally, with a great difficulty, to conserve this area, see how many pelicans are these in the habitat, Uppalpadu bird habitat. The Uppalpadu bird habitat is a village tank nearly of 25 acres. But finally, due to the birds, their droppings, villagers are complaining they are getting skin diseases and several diseases, and they used to remove the plants, trees by propliners. So I myself with the other bird watchers met the village heads, sarpanch, and several village people. And finally, we met the MLA, MP, and several actions has been taken. And finally, the MLA came and he said no felling of trees. And really, it is very glad that villagers even suffering very bad by this dropping of the birds, they left 8 acres area, a corner of the pond. Next. You can see how many birds are there. The pelicans are nearly 4,000 pelicans are visiting that place. Sometimes there may be 2,500 to 4,000 pelicans are visiting that place. And painted stops also visiting that place, 600 to 800. And open bills, 6,000 to 8,000, even sometimes 10,000. White ibis also about 2,000 and 3,000. Like that, the number of species are visiting. This is the unique habitat, small pond, heronry, where almost you can find the throughout year birds. The birds used to come by the starting of rains. The open breed stocks will come, and later, one by one, white ibis, later these pelicans, painted stocks, like that they will come, and the season will be up to nearly end of the April or May first week. That means almost throughout a year, you can find birds here. There are more than 20,000 birds are visiting this small 8 acres area. Okay, next. See how this is the Upapadu. We don't know why these trees are suddenly died. They dried up and died suddenly. We don't know. Actually, there are some reasons are there, but we cannot confirm which reason is correct. So, with the help of the forest department, really, actually, at the time where the pelicans used time at the time, at the appropriate time, pelicans used to visit this habitat. During 1998, only one pelican visited the habitat, later two, and finally 1540, 200, 300 like that. And at that time, there are no nesting for a period in the Nalapattu. Nalapattu is one of the pelicanary and very good pelicanary. And only pelicanary at Kokkarabellur only in Karnataka. So there are no pelicans at Kolleru at that time. Then there is some portion of there at Telnilapuram near Navapara swamps. So finally, what we made with the forest department, we erected artificial nests. So there are some this thing criticism, all those things. Why you are erecting artificial, or they come or not? Because the situation is such that again we cannot bring out the trees immediately, and the position of the pelicans are so severe, they may go to the endangered also. At that time, they are vulnerable. So we erected artificial nesting stands. Next. So this is the artificial nesting stand. See how many pelicans are there, and there are open bills also there. So really this helped a lot, and the Uppalpadu habitat helped like anything. Later, Kolleru was saved, and there's more than number of pelicans. Gradually, they reached the Kolleru, and there they developed. And almost now, in South India, they spread in several parts and in very good number. So really, it's we have to appreciate the villagers, even though they are facing several problems due to the birds. They are conserving this thing and they are not disturbing at all. The local people are very, very important for conservation issues. Okay, thank you. Next, sorry, next.
Yeah, I think this is the last one.
Pardon, sir? Okay. So ecosystems Generally, they will maintain diversity of other organisms, controlling pests. Some of them play predator role. Some of them are herbivores, dispersal of seeds, provide important provisioning meat, egg, etc. Cultural services, important in food web. So next. See how wetland, this is a portion of the Kumbhabhisheka mud flat. See how the habitat is filling with the gravel. You can see this gravel mounds, and this is also gravel and all those things. These are the mangroves. Actually, this is a mud flat actually, but due to all these things, water did not go outside and water is stocked here. Okay, next. This is one of the wetland in Kakinada. See how this is one of very good wetland, and there are 41 migratory species are visiting with this wetland in the Kakinada area. But see how the gravel is pouring in it, and I claimed and I made complaint to the MOF and Forest Department of Andhra Pradesh, and it was stopped. By that time, they filled about 11 acres. And it is about 125 acres wetland, and nearly 140 species of birds are visiting. Next. Okay. Thank you. I am very much thankful for giving the opportunity to present the issues.
Thank you very much, sir, for your such eye-opener kind of presentation. And now we look forward to have a brainstorming session with you. And I would like, without taking much time, I would like to now invite Sramana Mukherjee, our youth representative, who will now lead this brainstorming session. Shramana is a senior research fellow. Currently, she's enrolled in the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences in the National Institute of Technology, Rourkela, Odisha. And she is through her PhD, she is trying to understand gender and technology interface in Indian smart cities of Bhubaneswar and New Delhi. She has a background in geography from University of Delhi and post-graduation from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. So a very warm welcome to you, Shamana. So now over to you. You can now lead the question and answer session. So you can start with asking your question, and then I request you to pick up some questions from the audience. You can also invite audience to ask their questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to extend my gratitude to both the eminent speakers for such an engaging talk. Like really, as ma'am said, it was quite an eye-opening session, especially for someone who was not from within this discipline, and to get to know so much about it. So my first question is actually to Ramana sir. So you were talking about the idea of poaching, as you said, has been a major issue. So how is this poaching activity like a recent development, or does it have a long history attached to it? And how do you identify these cases and take it up with the authorities and solve them at your end? So you're muted actually.
Poaching is not a new thing. It is there for many years. Usually, people living around wetlands used to trap birds. It's a common practice, and they sell them in the local market. They consume some of the birds, and they sell some of the birds. What I do is I used to visit these places during the season of migration season. I used to check where these people are selling birds, and I used to report the matter to the forest department. In case if they're not available or they do not listen to me, I will take the matter to the wildlife crime control bureau. They will step in immediately. And we have not booked any cases. The forest department has not booked any cases against these people. The mostly poor people, poor tribal people used to do this trapping. We warned them once in the forest department conducted awareness programs also for the people. And in case if nobody is available, I used to take help from my friends and used to seize the birds and release them.
Okay.
Jayati, please show the pictures. Huh?
Yeah, I'll show the pictures.
This is a common thing. You can see near wetlands. People carrying birds, trapped birds, selling them.
Right.
No, they too have gone down because birds are not available. Most birds have vanished.
So, what, according to you, do you feel is the biggest threat to these wetland ecosystems today? Do you think like projects such as conversion of intertidal marshlands into mangroves and others also have a lasting impact?
Certainly.
Okay.
A lot was lost to shrimp farming. A lot of intertidal wetlands were lost to shrimp farming.
Mhm.
Please show the first, yeah. Go with this or go with the poaching of birds. These are all birds taken. This is the place where they are selling birds, trapped birds. We I regularly visit, and this man is from forest department. He helped me in releasing the birds. They carry them like this and sell in local markets. It is not very difficult to stop this, but the problem is people usually do not respond. Simply, this is people used to think that this is not our duty. Forest department will look into it. Why we unnecessarily enter into a conflict with these people? But nothing will happen. I have not so far faced any problem. Even I used single-handedly seize the birds and release them. Never faced any problem with this thing. We usually doubt why unnecessarily we have a conflict with these people. But people, this is not our duty, thing like that. But that will not save the birds. We must get into action, do something, report the matter, demand action from. We must demand action from the forest department and the concerned authorities. Otherwise, they do not act on their own. They never do anything. I know that. We must do. I request all participants, all viewers to act whenever you see something like this.
Sure, so yeah. Okay.
Ramana Garu, do you want me to show other pictures now or later?
Yeah, that the other birds pictures. These are all pictures. Uh, this one is Pacific golden plover. The habitat of this is marshlands.
Mhm.
Marshlands are very important. Marshlands are not just bird habitats. Marshlands take water, store water during storms, and as well as they take water during high tide. Water that enters overland through the estuaries will come into these marshlands, stay there for some time, and it will slowly go back into the sea when the tide goes down. And during rains, the rainwater gets collected here in the marshlands, and these marshlands store the water, filter the nutrients, pollutants, and release this water back into the sea. So this prevents coastline erosion. Now, because this water goes back into the sea very slowly. See, if there is no marshland and there is no place to store, uh, the water runs fast into the sea and erodes the coastline. But what happened here is the forest department suddenly one day when I went for birding, I have seen this. They dug up all the area and planted mangroves up. See, mangroves, there are mangroves close to mangroves along the creek. The water that enters into the creek from the sea during high tide flows into the marshland also after passing the mangroves. See, there is scope for expanding mangroves where there are mangroves. Some suitable places can be converted into mangroves. But these people dug up this marshland and planted sapling. Then what I did, I asked them, why you did this? They argued that this is historically mangrove area, so we have planted and all the trash they talked about. And then I inquired about it. Who funded this? So someone told me that they got funds from the UNDP and it is some green climate fund for the climate resilience of the communities. Some fund is that they use that fund to do this. So I talked to a person who works with the green climate fund. He told me that he advised the forest department not to go for mangrove planting in this place. So what he said is that they have not heeded his advice and gone ahead with plantation. Then I asked him, I would like to talk to your boss. Please give me his number. And why? See, funds have to come from that. See, when the forest department is not listening, they should stop it. That is their responsibility. But he didn't respond later. So then I reported the matter to the UNDP. So when I reported, they immediately called for a Zoom meeting and asked me for more details. And I have explained to them that this is a marshland. There is no historically these are not mangroves. Bird habitat was lost, and because of the loss of this marshland, the coastline will erode now, and many problems will crop up. So then they asked me what to do. So I asked them to restore it. So they have conducted an inquiry and they are also in consultation with the state government. They promised me that this will be restored.
Yeah.
But not so far restored. And what will happen, we'll have to see what they do. But I'm not going to leave this. I think I will get it done, get it restored soon.
Right, so it actually looks very interesting. I mean, when you put it that way, like wrong decision making could actually lead to so much of losses, especially in terms of ecosystem, niche ecosystems.
A lot of public money wasted.
True.
Not of public money. Whose money? This is all our money. We are not going to spend anything out of that pockets now.
Right.
That's in addition, environmental damage. So biodiversity, also wetlands.
Unfortunately, they are not considering the mangrove ecosystem. That means
Right.
Mangrove, only regeneration of mangrove plants only they are considering.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Nearly for the last 30 years, in our Godavari sanctuary, Godavari history, the mangrove regeneration is going on. And now, as Ramana said, GCF is taking again mangrove regeneration. And in Andhra Pradesh, they are going to regenerate 5,000 acres of mangrove. And where at one, I have shown one that gravel, this one. So regarding that also, we had a complaint to the GCF, that's the UNDP, SUC. But at the time, we went to the NGT. So I cannot directly complain it. So I met with some other interested persons and they visited this one. And what will happen, we don't know. We have to see and wait. But they said, the committee said, it is not in our hands to make all these things to conserve, and these are only, we are the committee only, we have to report only. That's all they said. So it's not correct to convert the mud flats and other this creeks and all those things to completely as a mangrove. So it is not correct. They have to, because what is the first that everybody knows, I think, one can see birds around the coast during the low tide in the mud flats. Then where they will go during the high tide?
True.
So they are converting the uninundated lands also into the mangrove. So they will go to the uninundated lands, and some of them go to the mangroves also. So it is important for the survival of birds, and the birds are coming since a long distances, thousands of kilometers they are traveling. Some birds are traveling with a non-stop also. So by this time they came here, they will completely tired, they fatigue, with full hungry, and they didn't find their mud flat. They have to search again. How it is possible? And the journey, migration journey is severe. There are severe difficulties to them. They lost their lives also sometimes. So sometimes they will be winds, and they will be shifted to other places also, drifted to other places. So it is important to save the mud flats and all those things. These areas comes under the Central Asian Private. So during the year 2020 February in Gujarat, there is COP13 to conserve the migratory routes. So India is the presidency of it, and India said that they will cooperate, they will do, and they will cooperate with others also, with the neighboring countries which are in the private. But nothing is going on. Now everything, every mudflat and wetlands they are destroying like anything. That is my problem, and we have to take the action, and Ramana has done also very good work in this one. So I'm very glad of it, really, to take this thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, Mrutyumjaya sir, I had a question for you. Like you were talking about how you helped in conservation of the Uppalaparu area, and you also talked about how locals have been very helpful in achieving that. So, are there any indigenous practices that the locals do to also help in the conservation of these wetland areas?
Yes, yes, yes. Locals also helping in these wetland areas and in the aeronaries, and the aeronaries in the water bodies of their villages, or on the trees, directly on the land, on the trees. They are conserving them because they feel the people, especially in villages, according to the traditional culture and religious belief, and also a belief that due to arrival of birds to their villages in breeding season will fetch rains and good yield of crop. That is, they had got the belief that birds' arrival fetch and benefit to them. So, if birds did not arrive, there will be no rains and there is no good yield of crops also. So, this is one of the important things. And there is also, they protected the heron and not felling the trees, not disturbing them, not destroying the habitat. And also, they are catch holding the poachers strictly, and sometimes the poachers are beaten like anything also. So they are doing very good conservation works, all those things. So really, it is very, very important, their role in conserving the birds, wetlands, and thank you.
And so there's one more
In
question
fact,
for you.
in fact, I also had this question in my mind when Ramana Garu was sharing that tribals are involved in poaching. So, Ramana Garu, don't they have any kind of traditional practices or religious rituals? For example, like in Sundarbans, they worship Banod Bibi, and then it actually helps protecting the whole ecosystem. So don't like those tribal communities, they have this kind of practices?
Sorry, just to interfere in before Ramana Garu speaks, Jayati, do we need this picture so that we can,
Okay,
do you
I
still
can.
have pictures to share or we can just go to the speech only? Ramana Garu, would you like to go through some more pictures in your
No,
speech?
no.
Okay, so Jayati, may
I'll
I
just show
request?
these pictures, yeah, all the slides, and then I'll close them. So
Yes,
this
please.
he has explained. Then here are like some beautiful birds, which he
Yeah.
has captured, and then this one. Then this he already explained. So, so can I close this now?
Yes, you can.
Just 1 second,
Yeah. Oh,
Jayati, just 2
yeah,
minutes.
yeah, yeah.
Because we discussed the threats to the wetlands, and already we know the poaching is taken and wetlands are destructing due to development activities. But there are 3 important things. That is, over the watershed program also one of the disturbing the wetlands. And construction of number of dams on the rivers also they are disturbing, because water is not reaching to the village ponds or the irrigation tanks, because each and every small finger size stream also they are making the this watershed programs in the catchment areas. That is one of the things. And the other thing is the releasing the sewage in the canals, ponds, rivers, and even in oceans, in the sea also. That is not only the sewage. There is another very, very bad thing we have to see. The night soil also, that is, they are at night time, they are mixing in the wetlands. So those are the, we require the uh, night soil treatment plan and sewage treatment plans also, several things we have to do, not only with the daily poaching and destruction of wetlands. These things also we have to see. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have both, which are like you can call them root causes. One is this direct poaching, and I think that's not like major problem, but the main or biggest issue is like habitat destruction, and then this contamination of the whole water quality and deterioration of the like entire system, degradation. So yeah, that's true. Thank you so much.
So there's yes, ma'am. Actually, there's one more
no,
question.
yeah, no, I just wanted to understand if he wants to add something like I shared about Bano Bibi. So because he mentioned about
Yes.
tribals, so this thing occurred to my
Yeah, yeah.
mind. Yeah, please continue.
Okay, the people here are anarchists and they do not have any traditions like conserving. They always on the lookout for something to eat. Usually they fish, they do fishing, crab hunting, and trapping of birds. It was usually in previous days they used to consume them for themselves, and when times when there were abundant birds are in abundance, it was not a matter of concern.
Yeah.
But now the birds have gone down,
Mm.
and now these people they are eating and also selling in the towns nearby. The
Yeah.
double the impact on birds.
Okay,
And
so
the
yeah,
people
if
cannot.
they're doing it for commercial purpose, then it's like something which causes some concern. And then yeah, I like as you said that earlier birds were more, and then I think that route was, and they had this tradition of consuming them. Then I think they that serves as an intensive to for them to protect birds because they are also providing them food. So, but now you say that things are changing, and now this has become a major problem in that area.
On that line, actually, I just had the thought that I would ask. So, what happens to these poachers once they're caught? Like, do they face any kind of punishment, fines, anything that the government has done?
So far, they have not booked any cases. They have giving warnings.
Mhm.
Almost it reduced, and we're waiting to see if they continue next year. I'm thinking about insisting the forest department to register cases.
Right.
That is what.
And Mrutyumjaya sir, there's one question for you. Person wants to know that how is this counting of birds done? The bird census, basically, how is it done? And are most of the water birds predators, carnivorous? Like, what's their nature?
If counting is done, actually, if the number is very less and group is the flock is small one, and if it is we are able to count, we can count directly at count. But
Okay.
where is the group is big, the flock is very big, and then we will make some small portions, circles. It is a very big flock, say. We can make it 4 portions or 5 portions or like that. And we will count in one portion. Suppose we found, we count it about 120 in that one. That means 5 portions are there. We will make guess, not direct count. We cannot make it at the time because it's very difficulty also. So 5 into 120. That is about 600 birds are there. Like that, we will make them.
Okay.
Mansi has raised her hand.
Yeah, I'm always curious, about these things. Thank you so much, Mrutyumjaya Garu and Ramana sir, for really giving us just grounded insights. And Sramana, you are wonderful, to ask these questions and engaging all of us. I wish to continue the question on counting because, and I have the same question for fishes, by the way. But uh, if we have some now advanced methods to do these countings and all, because some months ago Jayati and myself were also talking about doing some proposals on health of wetlands through the health of birds and fishes and algae and all. And we were curious what kind of advanced technologies the world is using to do census of birds and fishes. So if you may enlighten us. One thing what you mentioned is kind of a random sampling or head counting based on small flock or large flock. But do we have some advanced methods to do that now available in the country? Is Government of India using, Forest Department using? I mean, I have serious questions on Forest Department doing it, and I think in every session of Biodiversity Series, we end up in this question: why Forest Department is taking care of these things? You know, so I really wish to understand your insights on this. Thank you. Okay, who goes? Sorry. Thanks,
I
Fauzia,
think
for sharing.
Ramana Garu wants to. Yeah. I think Ramana Garu can answer this. He's very actively involved in bird census, and he's like one of the top most like birder who has been taking part and reported most number of species. I saw while I was doing some research on him, so he was in
Yes.
the like top birders by eBird. There's a website called eBird, and then I saw his name in top birders.
Mrutyumjaya Garu and Ramana Garu, I have this plant net and bird net put in my mobile. But that is to just identify which bird is this, which plant and which flower, and it gives a full biodata of the species. But it's more on counting. In India, we have stopped doing human countings and census, but I'm just curious about others counting.
There are many methods. We usually birds are counted by participants, and many organizations use data from the eBird. We used to upload bird checklists into the eBird, and most organizations, even the State of India's birds report was also taken from more than 30,000 observations from the eBird. They have prepared the State of India's birds 2023.
Okay, interesting. So we have long way to go in this direction. Over to you, Shramana and Jayati. Yeah, thank you.
And I think nowadays, like they have, I think that's not available in India commonly. Like they have these robo birders and those AI technology. So I think it,
I too heard about that, but I don't know.
yeah, so it's not in use, I think, in
So it's
India.
not user friendly then, huh? So for grassroots people to work on it, even common people to work on.
Yeah.
And that's where citizen science is crucial to have these kind of tools with us.
And not everyone can afford this kind of advanced
Yes.
technology.
They have limited use, Go few. Bird watching is something very a good hobby, very interesting. We'll have to go and see the birds. If we go there, we will understand what was there actually. It is not just counting is one of the things. Counting is not all that important. If we go there, you can find out what are the threats there, what is happening there, what was the current state of the place, any destruction is there. All those things we will be able to find out. See, if you put up some camera or something there and count, but you will know the number only.
Yeah.
If there is loss, you will not be able to know the reasons. If you go there only, you will know the reasons. If you put up something like a camera or something like it will tell. See, we
Yeah, you
have
can
camera
always
traps
take.
counting tigers, leopards, and all wild animals in the forest. But that doesn't mean that we don't need a forest department or anybody going there. There must be. We have many people there. Tiger trackers are there in tiger habitats. They regularly move in their beats, see for signs of poaching, traps.
Like on this point, actually, it just came to my mind that Mrutyumjaya sir in his photos had shown this birds from Mahanadi, Orissa, who had been tagged and they had flown all the way to Andhra Pradesh. So, like, how do they then tag these birds individually like that? Like, it's a very
It is
basic
that,
question, I know, but it's very
BNHS
baffling.
has got some special, some persons, they will caught them and they will tag them. And some birds at the stage of juvenile stage also they will catch and they will ring it. And some small birds, every year they will do ringing and they will have tagging. And in tags also there are some black and white, black and yellow, like that colors. Suppose all the
Yes.
birds is black and white. So black and white means it is pertained in the South India, that is, it is from Mahanadi and like that. Suppose if it is another color, means it may be pertaining to the Pakistan or something and something, and it is easy to identify, and they will have all the records and those things. That is one of the things.
Okay.
So, bird watching is one of the very important also, because birds, you can find birds throughout the world. There is the hot desert and cold regions and Arctic and Antarctic regions also, and several habitats. They will cover several habitats, so we can protect the habitats according to their availability and their decrease or increase of birds. Any threats, we can easily find out them, because there are grassland birds are there, wetland birds are there, arid land birds are there, thick jungles and dense jungles, high altitude Himalayas and lower hills. So different habitats they will have. So we can able, if we study the birds, we can able to conserve those habitats according to their decline, bird decline, or any other things, any diseases or anything, so we can understand and we can conserve the habitat.
Right.
Any more questions?
Jayati?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
No, I just wanted to say that it was so painful to know when Mrutyumjaya Rao sir shared that these birds, they come flying from like thousands of kilometers just to see that their winter home is permanently lost. Just imagine if it was like for humans. So it's so painful. I was into tears when I heard and imagined this.
Pardon? Not clear.
No, I'm saying when you share that the thing like they come flying from like thousands of kilometers just to find, just to see that their winter home is permanently lost. So how painful it is. Just imagine if this happens with humans.
Yeah.
So I think in every episode we again realize and feel sorry about this, that like we are
Yes,
one of the
actually.
most selfish species on this planet, and then see what we have done to this, like our own home. So it's
Most
That
very,
realization is
very, very
coming back
painful.
every episode, in every
Yeah.
session.
Yeah. It's like so painful. Sometimes, like when you see these pictures, you are into tears because just imagine, like if it happens with
Amritu,
to you, yeah.
Mrutyumjaya Garu made a very important remark on these wetland conservation efforts and, making these canals and doing these bunds and all those things. And if I look at them as even the amount of wetlands we have lost in the last 100 years, we are only left with one fourth of the wetlands in the country, in land
Mm.
area. And that too, they are constantly in the eye of developers and politicians to just take it over, and those which are left, that also are in the eyes of designers and architects and planners to develop it as as something for recreation. I mean, we have to get over this fact that birds and fishes and trees are not for our recreation. They are not our entertainment channel. They have to coexist.
And
I
then
think what we
surprisingly, yeah.
no,
Let's
I was
say.
just saying that what we essentially forget is that we are sharing this planet with everyone else, and it's not just us who is
Yeah,
living on it,
exactly.
which we kind of forget. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like surprisingly, we have just this Ramsar Convention as like one of the mechanisms to protect these migratory birds and waterfowls. But then, if you look at the number through this convention, we are able to protect only 75 sites, but they are like much more area which lies unprotected. So that's also something like if you want to add something, like share your insights about this Ramsar Convention. And
Even many places covered under the Ramsar are not being protected properly. We have almost lost Koleru.
yeah, I was
Koleru is the
about to
Ramsar.
mention Kolleru.
Yes, it is the Ramsar side.
Actually, the entire Kullairu is designated as Ramsar site.
Yeah, and like I'll just share, take few seconds to share that when I went to Kolleru, I was with this team of Wetland Internationals, and we were doing some PRAs in those villages. So I was, because during my MSc, I studied that Kolleru is like the largest freshwater wetland in
Yes,
India, and
largest
then
in
I was
India.
looking forward to this trip, and when I went there, I was just waiting for to see this lake. But then they told me that this is what is lake. It was all concrete road inside the lake, and you just have this chain of aquaculture ponds and then
Yeah,
roads. You don't have anything like which you can call a lake or wetland. It's all aquaculture ponds with concrete bundings and then roads, proper roads. You have street lights, roads, and this is what Kolleru is. And that year, Supreme Court has ordered to demolish some of these aquaculture ponds, but I think they have again come back. And that time,
Again, come
after
back.
30 years, after 30 years, I think, or so, like Pelican had revisited when they created some open area within Kolleru. So it was so painful to see that like you are there right inside the lake, and you see
Many
all
villages.
houses, yeah, houses, roads inside the lake.
No, it has become
And that too,
necessary.
it's like, yeah, Ramsar site.
It has become necessary to erect artificial sites even in Kolleru also, because of these occupations.
Artificial?
Artificial nesting.
Artificial nesting, unnecessary they are doing.
Yes.
Isn't they should not do actually.
Yeah.
Because whenever the species is under severe threat and under the extinction only, we can make that artificial nesting or captive breeding, etc. When it is okay, it's not correct. Simply they are making it a zoo. Now Upalpad also they are converted just like a zoo.
Mm. Yeah. That's such a sorry state. So I think we are done with this question and answer session. And Sramana, I think if anyone from the audience they want to ask, otherwise I can request Mansi to wind it up.
Thank you. And over to you, Prashaka. Thanks, Jayati, Sramana, and Ramana sir, and Mrutyumjaya sir. I think the formal thanks will be done by Prashaka. Just because you named me, I just jumped in. Over to you,
Okay.
Prashaka.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the enlightening session, and thanks to all the participants here in Zoom and on YouTube also who make our water conversations. We thank you for your support and encouragement to make the water conversations meaningful. You may reach to us at w4w.in. We will continue with Wednesdays sessions with the Wednesdays to come. Next week, the Wednesdays for Water session is on 24th Jan 24 at 5 p.m. IST. Do join us for the pollution series. Please register yourself at the link given in the chat box. This Friday, 19th Jan, we invite you to the Thesis Club of Friday Waters at 5 p.m. IST with Ashraf Bhatt to discuss wastewater treatment with a clean green bioreactor Chevron. The link to join the session is also given in the chat box. And we shall continue doing the Monday Munching with Women for Water. We are also gearing up for a water fest to celebrate 250 water conversations. More info on it is coming soon. Do keep checking our social media accounts and websites www.w4w.in for regular updates. And thank you to all. Please take care of yourself. Bye.